This is just a quick update to show you some of the inner workings of the dice tower, and also show off the solution I came up with for the courtyard for the dice to roll into. First we'll take a little bit closer look at the lantern itself. Of course, the exit hole, the entrance where the dice go in. I'm not sure how well that's focusing, but here's the switches. Of course, those toggle individually for the lights. And the underneath is where everything is hidden. So, not sure how well I can get this on camera, but the you know, all the switches are wired up to the actual LEDs, and then there's a battery pack that's attached in there. It is a little bit of a tight squeeze. If you have huge hands, you know, it's probably a challenge to get them up in there, but hopefully you got a friend with smaller hands. But I've got average hands, and I'm able to get batteries in and out of there without too much of a problem. So that's kind of the inner workings. The kind of ugly inside, unfortunately, is mostly zip ties holding the wires, and the reason for that is that anything I use to try to glue, whether it was hot glue or epoxy, even with primer on it, the PVC pipe that makes up the central core of the dice tower, just nothing sticks to it real well. So zip ties hold things in there pretty solid. In an emergency, you could, you know, cut one off and rearrange and put one back on if you needed to. So I considered that a worthwhile way to do it. The courtyard I came up with, I was trying to think of a way to keep it from moving around when dice rolled through it. And what I wound up with was just leaving a little bit of extra felt, because it is wood, but it's felt lined, because it seems like all the fancy dice towers have felt lined courtyards. And so I did some testing, and I can't say that dice never fly out of this one, but seldom. They'll probably make me a liar on camera though. Or not. That's how they typically go through. Every once in a while you'll get a wild die that goes through there and just bounces all over the place. There you go. So you can punish that one by putting it through again if you want. Sixes still roll through fine. So that's what I came up with for the courtyard. Seems to be the best solution. Like I say, dice may come out every once in a while, but not frequently enough to be a real issue. A lot of people ask me about making more of these, and if they could commission or buy them, and I did make some more. I'm not sure what the price is going to be on them yet. Honestly, I can't charge for my time because I'm slow, and you know, this obviously isn't a huge manufacturing thing. This is just me piddling around in my garage and in my backyard. But as of right now, there will be 5 of them going out of my house somewhere. I've still got the original prototype. Honestly, these are probably put together a little bit better than the prototype because I didn't know what I was doing on the first time around. But they're all done identical, except for one where I wanted to experiment with having the dice go straight down instead of loading from the rear. Honestly, the effort that it took to get the top off turned out to be way more than doing them the other way, and also was a lot harder on the sheet metal, and you know, it's just really hard to get it all back into shape. So probably would not do any more that way if I ever do any more at all. But that's where we stand right now. So if and when these go up for sale, I will certainly post a note here with a link, and folks are welcome to take a look and see if they'd like one. Thanks.